Well, I see the DNA as a party for change, and it's a party that is going to involve the citizenry. The present political parties, I do not feel involves the citizenry sufficiently. If the citizenry is involved in what's happening, they would then have more interest in taking the country with the government to the next level.
I think citizens of the Bahamas should be given an alternative, because in life, and even if you look at a biblical reference, God has never taken choice from people. I don't see why choice should be taken away in this situation. I think that many of the persons who would want us to believe that a third party cannot thrive are persons who are aligned with probably the established parties and are just singing for their supper. I think we need to recognize that as more information, knowledge come to light, we as a people who are analytical and futuristically thinking should be able to make a decision that will be for the benefit of our generations unborn.
Well, first and foremost, I think most people thought that a third party could not thrive in our environment because of the options that they had available to them. There was no viable options. It was kind of the establishment and these little bits and pieces along the side. I think for the first time, and I'm sure this is the consensus across the board, even with the establishment, there's an alternative party. There's another option. The DNA has presented itself with enough meat, with enough commitment, with enough passion, with a leader that has enough knowledge and enough experience and just enough wisdom to be a viable leader, to have a viable party. So I think that's what was missing before. There was bits and pieces around the place, but it never came together as one. And I think for the first time, we now have that option. And why do I think it's important? I think because everyone is just disenfranchised with the establishment. I think everybody is tired of the same old, same old. It's the exact same reason why I got on board with the DNA. It's kind of, that era has basically maxed out. It has exhausted all of its options, and it's even evident in the leaders that we have in place now. That the time is now for a change. I think for the first time we have an alternative, and that alternative is definitely the DNA, and I believe it completely, and I'm positive that more and more Bahamians will come on board as time passes.
I've always been programmed to think and act and believe in certain things, but lately I've felt disillusioned, and I've felt that we've lost some of our touch with the people. We've lost our touch with what's right for the Bahamas, and in looking forward and in looking at progress and growth for the country. So when Brand came along and offered hope that there could be development, there could be improvement, and that we could reaffirm that bond that we have with the common man to improve this country in a way that's beneficial for all Bahamians and not just a small group, that's what made me decide to align myself with this party.
This organization has now proven that it is the alternative. The people involved are extremely serious and dedicated to this cause. We understand what it is that we need to do. We understand where we want the country to be. So this party, the DNA, will succeed. And it will dispel every myth that a third party cannot survive or cannot succeed in the Bahamas.
To see a change in this country, to see the youth, to see people coming together from both sides of opposition, government, independence, you know, to make a difference. To see the group, the diversity of people that are now part of this party. I mean, that's what has brought me to the DNA.
I am not a politician. I am a servant of the people. I believe that our nation needs change, and I believe that if good people stand by and not take up our responsibility, not offer ourselves, our gifts, our talents to help bring change, then we are just as guilty for the state of our country. I believe that we must become the change that we want to see. And so I stand for change. We know that the status quo has not delivered what needs to happen in our country. That's a fact. And so my ambition, above all else, is to see change, and change for the better.
We have to go into each and every community and mobilize individuals who consider themselves downtrodden or out of the scope of what is going on in our country today. You know, we have a lot of issues simply because we exclude so many people. The masses are excluded in the day-to-day operation of this government, of this country, and until we include them, a lot of the social ills that we have will not be solved. So the first thing to do is get on the ground, mobilize the people, and then we can ensure a brighter future for this country, with Bahamians being first. My name is Alfred Poitier.
My name is Kelvin Cunningham.
My name is Floyd Umbrista.
My name is Farrell Goff.
My name is Ben Albury.
My name is Adrian Larota.
I'm Roscoe Thompson.
My name is Charlene Paul, and I am a candidate for the Democratic National Alliance. The time for change is now, and we present a viable alternative for change.